One thing that you mentioned, and again, like I take it back to my faith, I take it back to my deen, right? Is notice how that thought of not having a decision, like not knowing what decision and wanting that decision to be made for you,
Hmm.
even how anxious you felt in that moment, or how kind of stressed you felt in that moment. Imagine life that way, like the big question of life.
Hmm.
What am I doing here? What am I supposed to do? Where am I going?
That would drive me crazy.
But and isn't it such a blessing? SubhanAllah. Allah tells and Allah and the Prophet ﷺ, they're telling us what you need to do.
Yeah.
It's so simple, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your purpose is to worship Allah. And how do you do that? There's so many different ways, but this is the bare minimum. Do these. Pray 5 times a day. Believe in one God. Don't associate partners. Respect your parents. You know what I mean? Like pay your bills. Oh, SubhanAllah. Imagine a person who doesn't even have that level of clarity in life
Yeah.
and how anxious they must feel. And that's why they're drowning in their work and drowning in the club and drowning in this entertainment. Can you imagine how stressful it is if you weren't doing that?
I guess, yeah, morally, we do have a syllabus, right?
100%.
We don't get told exactly what field of work we should work in,
No.
but we at least get told, like, hey, this is how the house runs.
Hmm.
The man is the provider, right? This is how the cat works. This is how much money you have to
This
give
is
away.
how life works.
Yeah.
It's the framework of life is there.
Yeah. 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 But do you imagine, like, okay, so even everything that we're working towards, like in this life, right? We think, okay, I'm working on this business idea because I think it's an opportunity to get money, right? To
Yeah.
get paid to do better, right? So you need that incentive to pull you forward. And then what do we just say? We need consequences.
Yeah.
So what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us?
Yeah.
He gives us something to look forward to, something to work towards, which is
Mhm.
Jannah. And then he gives us consequences, the worst of the worst consequences, an eternity in hell. Like what? Like it's made for you. I remember somebody mentioning, like, I think it was like an atheist person who mentioned like religion is just all carrots and sticks. Have you heard this argument? Like, oh, it's just carrots and sticks. Like you have to do this or else, and you should do this so you can get such
Yeah.
and such. And then this one guy who's just like, dude, that's how humans work, right? Like when you park your car, why do you park between two white lines? Because if you don't, you'll get towed, right? Why do you work extra hours? Because to get paid. So every
Yeah.
decision you make is carrots and sticks. It's either you're trying to gain something or you're trying to get away from something. So it's like it was a weird argument that they made. That like we're stuck into the
It's natural.
yeah.
SubhanAllah. And that's the beauty of the faith is that actually there's logic to it. It's not like this, oh, we can't understand it. It makes sense.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I always thought about like